Hello, Croiso, how are you? Welcome back to the cymrunerdcave. Yeah, been a little while, but back for the foreseeable because I've got advent calendars to look at next week. But this week, yeah, I'm coming back strong with a really good figure that I bought over the summer. Well, just sort of in the autumn. Because I've got back into my DC Comics because why not, eh? And yeah, I went on the Smiths website to look for Transformers back in October and discovered that they did DC Multiverse figures. Now, I already kind of knew they did because I'd bought a Batman animated from there a little while back that I do need to show you guys at some point. But today, as the title suggests, I'm sure you've read the title, we're looking at this guy. We're going to be taking a look at the Mcfarlane Toys Superman multiverse figure. Oh, and he's so pretty, and he hovers, and he looks good, and he's classic. Look at him. So yeah, let's take a look at this guy. Toot sweet, as in now. So here he is, Mcfarlane DC Multiverse Superman, looking resplendent in his very, very classic look. Obviously Superman in the last few years has had a few different looks. He's had his Injustice look where he's a bit more armoured. He's had his New 52 look where he's very armoured and he's not had the trunks. And obviously he's had films like Man of Steel and Superman Returns, that kind of thing, where he's had a bit of a different style of uniform, deviating, you know. It's a movie, it's not a comic book, but this is the classic comic book look Superman, and isn't he fantastic? He is in the red, blue and yellow that you associate with the character. The only bit of yellow he doesn't have that I wish he did was on his cape, because his cape is pure red. It doesn't have the S-shield on the back, but that's okay. It's a design choice and I don't mind it at all. Other than that, isn't he looking fantastic? And the other thing you will notice is that he is hovering off the floor because of the stand he has. Let's take a quick look at the stand. I'll just put Soups down here for a second. So the stand here, it's your standard DC Multiverse one that they've been peddling the last couple of years, certainly since these toys have come out. It's very nice, got DC on the bottom, don't know if you guys can see that, white on white, sorry about that. And it does have a claw there which does open and close as you need it. It's also got a pivot on there as well, so you can pivot it up, pivot it down, and it comes with a few figures that you can do that with. And also you can take it off like so, comes off very easily, and it does have, put that over there, does have a little peg, and Superman does have a hole in his foot, so if you put the peg in the hole like so, then that does enable him to stand up. So if you do want him in a standing pose rather than a flying pose, there you go, then that's relatively easy to do. Obviously you need to play with him around a bit more than I'm able to because I'm on camera at the moment, but like I say, even at the very sort of minimum effort of trying to pose him, he still stands up really nicely, and without any support from myself, he's perfectly fine. So there you go, good stuff. I'll just put that back on because I will need that later. Like I say, very easy to put on. You just clip it in, hear a snap, and it's all in. Excellent stuff. So to Superman himself, to the Man of Steel himself, looking cool, like I say, in his good old-fashioned classic look. This is the look I would have grown up with as a kid, and like I say, there's a few design differences. His wrists are a bit different. Sorry, his wrists, I do apologise. His sleeves are a bit different than they would have been when I'm a kid, but you know, essentially it's the same colours, it's the same look. It's Superman. I mean, there's few comic book characters as famous as Superman. They're as instantly recognisable. Batman, Spider-Man, probably the only other two. His features, very nice features, to be fair. What you would want in an action figure of this sort of size and calibre, because Mcfarlane obviously have a good reputation. Just a word on that, actually. This guy I got for about £9.99 in Smiths. That's Smith's Toys in the UK. I don't know what you could get him for in the States, but £9.99 is basically, it's highway robbery by ourselves, because he's worth more than that. I think he's only worth about £20 at the top end. I remember as sort of a teenager going in and looking at Mcfarlane figures in comic book shops. They would be upwards of about £30–40 because of the quality they were, and you didn't see them very often. Now, obviously, this isn't as good as a Mcfarlane figure of, like, say, Spawn or, you know, the Living Dead, that kind of figure that they do. But it ain't far off, peeps. It really isn't far off. It's a really nice figure, really well moulded. It's got some good detail on it. Yeah, it's looking good. One of the nicest details on it that I really like is the S shield is shiny. The rest of it isn't. It's like in like a matte colour, matte paint. But the S shield is shiny, so it instantly draws your eyes to it. Now, I do have a Superman, an Alex Ross Justice version that is all shiny. And it's nice, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, I kind of like this one more. Because it draws the eye to the S shield, which it should do. That's the whole point of Superman, isn't it? But there you go. Other than that, like I say, red boots he's got his red tights, he's got his trunks, he's got his little yellow belt, which I know my friend Tasmin is very happy with, and Dave certainly is very happy with. He does like his little yellow belt. And Peter Spellos, actually, as well, who I've talked to recently. He's muscled, but he's not too muscled. There's nothing worse than an over-muscled Superman. Very, very 90s, and it doesn't work for me, but there you go. And he's got the little kiss curl as well in his hair, which you should always have. Let's face it. It's a classic look. You can change hands about. I'm not going to do that today, but you can do it. I prefer the fist and the open hand. Mileage varies, and he's got all the articulation that you want. So he's got the ab crunch, he's got the waist swivel, he can do whatever you want to with his arms, bicep curls and elbow curls, and his wrists are sort of well articulated. And his legs the same thing. You've got the double jointed knees, you've got the pointy toes that he can do pointy toe if he's in flight, that kind of thing. No boot swivel, doesn't need one particularly, but the ankles can do whatever you want them to. The cape is soft plastic, and basically it stays in place. It won't flap around. There's nothing worse than a cape that basically does what it feels like. I'm not into that at all. So it's really nice to have one that's soft enough to be a bit pliable, but isn't going to go anywhere and sort of mess up the look of your figure. And finally, the head. The only thing wrong with the head that I'm not keen on is that if you turn it, it feels a bit elastic bandy, in which case it will just pop back into place. It's not the most poseable head. And also, if you try and make him fly like so, you can't pop the head up to make it look like he's flying. You can a little bit, but not enough to make it look like he's flying, which is a bit of a shame. But there you go. You know, there's always going to be something that you wouldn't like in a figure. You just have to roll with the punches on that one. So very finally, how to put him in the old stand. Well, it's very simple. Like I say, like I pointed out, it's got a little claw there, and all you do is you pop that around his waist, if I can, like so, and then finger and thumb click in, and friction will hold him exactly where he needs to be. So you can then plonk him down and he will stay where you want. Like I say, this is the minimum of posing. I've literally just put him in there and he will stay. And that's fantastic. That's great. That's exactly what you want from this sort of figure, because a lot of people, myself included, aren't experts on posing figures. So all we really want is to be able to put it in there, pose it as we would like it, and not have it fall off every time we do that, which is very annoying if that ever happens. But this doesn't happen. And I have a big Golden Eagle Wonder Woman to prove it as well, that I will show another time. But in the meantime, there's your Superman. If you can get hold of him, if you're a fan of the character, you need to get this figure. It's really nice. It's the best Superman figure I own, and I don't say that lightly because I own quite a few. Pick it up at Smith's. I don't know if he's still on offer now, but he certainly was. He's definitely worth a pick-up. Absolutely. Like all the DC Multiverse line that I've got a few of these figures now, and they're all fantastic. They're all really good, and they're all reasonably priced. You won't find one that's sort of over £20. So there you go. You've got no excuse if you're a DC fan. That's it from me for this week, but I shall be back very soon because it's going to be Advent Calendar Apocalypse as of next week, and I have a few Advent calendars to show off. So do join me for that. In the meantime, do take care of yourselves and each other. Wear your masks, don't drink the bleach. We'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.